What's up guys, welcome to Supercars of London and Draw My 2015. Not my usual video, but I have taken inspiration from Joe Sugg and Casper Lee, who nailed this concept of Draw My Life, but I'm doing a summary of my year 2015. And we start at the end of 2014 when unfortunately my Vauxhall Astra was involved in a crash. But that was the bad news. The good news was Supercars of London had hit 100,000 subscribers. So let's kick things off with January. And January saw me take a flight to Detroit, my second long haul flight ever. And thank you for my lovely detailed drawing that this is not to scale, but I was a guest of Ford at the North American Motor Show and saw the unveiling of the Ford GT, the 2017 Ford GT that looked a bit like that rocket but just in blue. Anyway, let's move on to February, which was quite a quiet month, but saw the launch of Idiots Go Car Shopping, where myself and some friends drove our individual cars, which is pretty idiotic, bearing in mind we can all fit in one of them, and drove to car dealerships to check out what stock they had. So in this picture, you can see TGE with his massive beard. You can also see Sam from Seen Through Glass with a camera on his head, and myself also joining in with the mix as we headed to some car dealerships. And basically just kicking some tyres, wasting salesmen's time, unintentionally of course, because all three of us did buy new cars in 2015, but we will get on to that. It was also the collapse of Top Gear. I went to see a show with Aspect Valeting, and pretty much the next episode after we went to see one get filmed, Jeremy Clarkson punched the senior producer, and that was the end of Top Gear. So I decided to create Top Gear substitutions, and the first episode included the worst drawing of a Lamborghini Huracan ever. However, I decided to do these every Sunday at 8 PM and fill the Top Gear gap that we also very missed. Probably not the best sentence actually. However, there was a LaFerrari that came into Watford. That again is the worst drawing of a LaFerrari. Anyway, Paul Bailey's LaFerrari came to Watford for Barry Race's wedding, and I was able to film, basically, out my front door, a bloody LaFerrari. And April was a really busy one, and it kicked off with my R8 changing colour. It used to be baby blue, and I decided to change it to satin Nardo grey. And so that is the front end of my car. I'm colouring it in green, even though it was baby blue. I don't have a baby blue pen, and that is my representation of the satin Nardo grey, which, funny enough, actually matched the tarmac colour. So my car blended in quite nicely. And we drove from London to Monaco. We got banned from entering Monaco because we didn't have enough paperwork to prove that that was my car, but also that I had insurance. Not only in April did we drive to Monaco, I also saw my first Veneno and Lewis Hamilton's P1. So it was a really supercar filled month, and we actually started to grow really fast on Supercars of London. The community grew really quickly. There is Sam and his 4C that looked like a bug. There is myself with a super cool haircut, and I'm drawing the road because somewhere on that road blended in is my tarmac coloured R8. Let's introduce Shmee 150, who was driving his Mantis Green 650S, and we decided to go on a road trip back to London. Of course, not forgetting Seb and his camera, who is there as a stick man, and he jumped from passenger seat to passenger seat, and we drove from Monaco, stopping off in various cool places, and ended up back in London towards the end of April. And then myself and Sam actually basically went straight back to Monaco on the Eurostar, over to France, to Ford France, where we picked up the amazing Ford Fiesta ST, which was our wagon to get us down to Monaco for the Formula One Grand Prix. What a car it was. Fantastic experience. One of the best weekends that I have had in 2015. The supercars were insane. The Formula One atmosphere was unforgettable, and I will be returning to Monaco for the Formula One in 2016. We were lucky enough to watch it from the Fairmont hairpin, incredibly famous corner, and yeah, like I said, best weekend ever. There is Sam with a camera on his head with his thumbs up. And in June, well, You saw a lot of my breakfast, you saw a lot of my meals, because I started the daily vlogs, the behind the scenes of what I get up to behind the Supercars of London channel. And because it was the start of the supercar season in central London, I decided that this was the perfect opportunity to show you guys what I get up to. The daily vlogs were fantastic, a lot of fun, and also a collaboration with Jonathan and Eduardo from the Saccone Jolies. It was a lot of fun, and I just drew another rocket because that's what supercars, I can't draw supercars. Anyway, July, I said goodbye to my R8. It went up for sale, and we also experienced a massive heatwave during Goodwood Festival of Speed, where I decided to wear an incredibly bright t-shirt, which turned out that made me the largest flower in the field. So every single fly and bug in the UK and in Europe actually flew over just to land on my t-shirt. It was an absolute disaster, but Goodwood was a fantastic event, and I cannot wait for next year. August was the peak of supercar season. There is Harrods, there is Sloane Street. Those two little dots there are Dorchester and 45 Park Lane, where we saw loads of supercars, including a Zonda Cinque, which I'm currently trying to draw here with a red stripe down the middle, which you can't see because my red pen was running out. Anyway, it was also the saying goodbye of my Armitrix exhaust for the Audi R8. It went on to another R8, and I drove into London with it, and we saw some amazing cars and made a lot of noise. Not only that, Supercars of London hit 200,000 subscribers, so a huge thank you to everyone who has subscribed to my YouTube channel. August was a big month for me. It took 5 years and 60 months to get to 100,000 subscribers, and then it took 8 months, 32 weeks to get another 100,000, so we had doubled up in 8 months, and I was very happy and also shocked at the same time. And let's move on to September, where things started to get very busy and also crazy. What dreams are made of. Not only did I pick up the Audi A1, the Nuke, I also made my Lamborghini dream come true, where I picked up the 2011 Bicolore, and that month is a blur for me. It was utterly amazing. A week after I picked up the Lamborghini, I had the fantastic opportunity of driving a LaFerrari, which is slightly out of shot at the moment, but I do move my camera down around now. There is the LaFerrari, and there's me. October, again, things started to get a little bit crazy. I went to New York for 4 days and had a fantastic time. Beautiful city, very chaotic. The weather actually wasn't that great, but I had an amazing experience and actually got in front of the green screen for the first time ever, which was an odd experience to see the finished product. But yeah, New York was awesome. October in general was so busy. I was actually worried looking at my diary that I did not have a free day, which is crazy bearing in mind in January, February and March, I was pretty chilled. Anyway, I landed back from New York, jumped pretty much straight in my car. Sam had just picked up his F-Type and Tim had just picked up his Cayman GT4, his 500th car to add to his collection. And there is Sam looking very happy that he had joined the Great British Club, Owners Club, or the Jaguar Owners Club. And we drove from Lyon to Monaco and stayed at Seb's house for a couple of weeks. And what did we do in that week other than just stare at our cars? We ate a lot of pizza, we ate a lot of carbs, which then resulted in Seb staying in bed for most of the time and not getting out of bed before 2 p.m. every day. But we actually had a lot of fun driving some of the most amazing mountain roads in our cars, and it was also a really nice time to just relax and collaborate, doing some various cool videos. November, we were still in Monaco, but we had to leave the sun behind. Myself and Sam drove 14 hours in one day back to London, which made my bum numb, it made my back ache. The Lamborghini definitely isn't a good GT car. We made it back into the rainy London, jumped on a plane and drove straight to sunny south of Germany, where we consumed no beer, but actually drove at the 2015 Ford Mustang, and it was in gold chrome, which lit up the whole of Munich. We jumped back on a plane over to London and then got back on another plane and ended up in Dubai for the end of the month, where we spent 2 fantastic days in Abu Dhabi watching the Formula 1 Grand Prix on the Seas 500 yacht. The start of December, we carried on our adventure in Dubai, saw some amazing things, incredible cars, and experienced some beautiful weather in Dubai. And I also wrapped my car in red. And I have to say, the finished article is amazing. Not to forget the DMC wing that I put on most recently. And I suppose my Lamborghini Gallardo is now finished, and we move into the Christmas break, where I've just had a fantastic time chilling out with friends and family, opening presents, eating probably way too much food, and hitting over 300,000 subscribers. So I would just like to say a huge thank you to all of you guys for being a part of my 2015. A huge thumbs up, which is probably my favorite hand gesture to do. Huge thank you. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, and I look forward to seeing you very early on in 2016. Cheers, guys! The R8, I've had the back box replaced from the stock to the titanium crosspipe as Army Tricks do for these cars. But what I've also had done is the Army Tricks headers and pipes to the back box. So I've got the full Army Tricks system from here all the way into the underneath of the engine. And as you saw, it was a massive, massive job. SB Race Engineering had to take the engine out just to put the headers back onto the car. So it was a huge job. It took 2 days, and the